Both AKD and Sajith claim more than 50%. Funny, isn't it? Jinage predicts Namal will win. 5 shown the door for supporting Namal. Ranil called Shashindra before sacking him. Wasantha Yapa gets dropped and daughter included in messy candy. Kiriella reigns supreme. Mayantha and Halim too, sidelined. GL, Gota Patali in a quandary. Sajith loses grip in Gampaha, Kalutara and Kalani Valley. PM aspirants Maduma Bandara and Atanayake forget the presidential race. Basil's trainees now work full-time for Ranil. Are gossips about Abeguna Wardina correct? He is busy underground along with a trio. Ginage's attempt to save faces. AKD's campaign is similar to Gota's. NPP's quality work is commended. Ranil has the best theme. Sajith's campaign is about himself. Ex-Army Mahesh shows his colours.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Both AKD and Sajith claim more than 50%. Funny, isn't it? All the candidates and their campaigners are presently hard at work. Going by what they say on stage, each and every one of them have already won. The NPP claims AKD will get 10 million votes, while Lucky's estimate is Sajith has surpassed 50% by now. According to Ranil's camp, he is going to be the winner, with people favouring him secretly. Not only that, Namal too claimed an unprecedented win. His theoretician Ginige says even supporters of his opponents have been attracted to Namal because of his direct speeches. He has Mahinda's vote base, which starts at more than 3.5 million. With none getting over 50% this time, Namal wins, he says. So, all have won by now. Around 17 million voters are eligible to vote at the September 21st election. Turnout at postal voting exceeded 81%. So, experienced critics say a maximum 82%, half, or 14 million, will vote at the election. For a win in the first count, a candidate should poll a minimum of 7 million votes. According to them, counting the second preference is unavoidable this time. By the way, opinion polls suggest between 25 and 30% of voters still remain undecided, with every candidate seeking after those floating votes. All the candidates have come to understand that there would be no compromises. After allowing state ministers to back Namal until then, Ranil sacked 5 of them with immediate effect. They are Geetha, Shashindra, Thanuka, Prasanna Ranawira and Chanaka. A week earlier, Premalal, Indika Anuruddha, Mohan Priyadarshana and Gamlath lost their portfolios. Some SLPP alternate group members pressured Ranil into removing those who used state resources to support some other candidate, said sources at the Presidential Secretariat. Reporting those removals, media supportive of Sajith claimed that more will follow suit. Before the latest removals, Ranil called one of them Shashindra and said a few have to face the sack. It would be better if you resigned before that, Ranil told him. That one asked that he be removed along with the others. Or else they would find fault in it too, he said. When Ranil inquired from him about the prevailing situation, Shashindra said the NPP was trending with the entire South fully supporting it. Yesterday it was Tilvin, today it is going to be Harini. A NPP big shot visits every day, he told Ranil. Shashindra might have remembered what happened on May 9th 2 years ago. Their party ended up a divided one after Namal tried a go at Ranil. Wasantha Yapa gets dropped and daughter included in messy candy. Overestimations and shadows of defeat, both are escalating in fighting in all the camps of leading candidates. The latest incident is reported from Kandy and from the SJB camp. At Sajith's rally in the hill country capital, everything went amiss. The rivalry between Kiriella and Wasantha Yapa intensified after the latter got dropped from the event. That one was the only SLPP MP to have thrown his weight behind Sajith, while all other Kandy MPs joined Ranil. But there was no speech for him in that rally, although he had been a key speaker at Sajith's rallies elsewhere. Mayantha, Halim and electoral organisers in Kandy too were omitted from the list of speakers. But a speech was especially allotted for Kyriela's daughter, who was given a seat close to Sajith as well. According to sources at the SJB headquarters, both father and daughter are planning to go to the Diawana next time, the former courtesy the national list and the latter by contesting from Kandy. When the general election was called the last time, Kyriela threatened to go to Ranil after Sajith decided to give national organiser Atanayake nominations from Kandy. Then he was included in the national list. Similar incidents have taken place elsewhere too, so the new entrants to the SJB seem very much discouraged. That is especially so for the Patali, GL and Godahewa lot. Some of them are saying that they would never have thought of joining a party with its management in such a total mess. As Lucky tries to lift people from Ranil, these disillusioned ones are likely to go to him in the coming days, it is said. As a result of all these, Sajith is losing ground in several districts where he had been in the lead. They include Gampaha, Kalutara, and the Kalani Valley area. But the blame of it all has gone to Maduma Bandara and Atanayake, who have been given charge of those areas. An advisor to Sajith told some cronies of his boss recently that those two as well as Kyriela are PM aspirants and are favouring their own only. At this rate, it will not be a surprise if Sajith falls to third place, he said. So, the PM hopefuls list in the SJB is lengthening, with Maduma Bandara, GL, Harsha, Kyriela, Dulles, Patali, and Tissa. It is said that they have learnt the habit from none other than their boss. Basil's trainees now work full-time for Ranil. According to a piece of gossip in last week's Irida Deshaya, a powerful one from an area famous for mangosteen, who left his party to join the big one, denies rumours of his reasons for doing so. But he is already getting stepmotherly treatment from his new party. He was given front row seats when he was in his former party, but is relegated to the fourth row in the new one. He is forced to sit there with a long face. Also, his house is now a deserted one, with none of the old friends and party supporters to be seen there. So, he tries his best to carry on despite his woes. Although no name is mentioned, it is anyone's guess the reference is to none other than Wijegunawardena. However, it is said that together with Lanza, Prasanna, and Mahindananda, that one has been given special duties, something to do with the underground. He is said to be busy with it without much ado. It was also him who did most of the work relating to Ranil's canvassing in Kalutara. That has not gone well with the SJB media team. They have posted videos of him going from house to garner support for Ranil. When a journalist inquired if Ranil would get the votes of former SLPP ministers, Namal's advisor, Ginige, said they were no longer in Ranil's campaign. They have formed a new party and are fully occupied with how to get elected again. Other than the around 100 or 200 contractors who accompany them, no SLPP supporter will not vote for Ranil, said Ginige. But Ranil loyalists say Ginige's calculations will go totally wrong this time. All of them have to campaign for Ranil, even by spending from their own pockets, because there would be a general election soon after. To succeed in that election, they will first have to show their mettle at the presidential polls, so the around 100 ex-SLPP lot now go canvassing in their electorates. That is why Ranil ignored Basil's overture all along to hold a general election first. That shows his experience. The best part is that all those trained by Basil are with Ranil today. AKD's campaign is similar to Gota's. In the past, posters and handouts were used to throw mud at political opponents. Now that job is a monopoly of social media. There is no end to mudslinging on YouTube, Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram. Some are having YouTube opinion polls, while edited versions of speeches and videos are making their rounds. This is giving quite a headache for the election chief. It is rumoured that social media is going to be blocked between midnight on the 18th until the release of the final result. Anyway, Chinthana Dharmadasa says the award for the best advertising campaign this time should go to the NPP. To make his claim, he takes that party's rallies, canvassing and 2 of its advertisements into account. He says on Facebook that the credit for the NPP's successful campaign should go to Gota. Most of his technologies are now being used by the NPP. Theme-wise, Ranil has the best in the Pulavan campaign with its design and artwork far superior to the MPP, says Dharmadasa. Youths with gas cylinders, hoardings with that symbol and other aspects of the campaign had quite a novelty. Also, Ranil's campaign had a very unique theme, which was not used at all. It was about the Vine Bridge, but no one has been using it to their advantage so far, says Dharmasena. For Sajith, a campaign was almost non-existent. Only a slogan of Dinana Sajith came out. Other than that, it was full of his jokes. From his clothing, Sajith himself was the campaign. His English, Japanese, mantras and jokes didn't work, and he had to introduce a best team catchphrase in the end. Also important here are public and media relations, disaster management and strategic communication. But the NPP uses them insignificantly and did it the worst possible way. Starting with Handonetti's asking for trouble, even the basic policies had to be changed from time to time. Attacking too is an important part of an election campaign. Here, the NPP had just a barking dogs type of mob only. The SJB and Ranil did it to their advantage. Using an opponent's weapon to own advantage is quite useful in electioneering. Guerrilla campaign is the essential creative part, although many see it as mudslinging. The result on the 22nd will show whose strategies had worked the best. Anyway, the situation is getting out of control by the day. A JVP phobia created by Ranil and Sajith is taking firm root in society. Also, a YouTube video claims a conspiracy to swindle the NPP's victory. With claims of state intelligence too involved and talk of setting media institutions on fire, it is being shared even by NPP loyalists. Almost all the candidates are rallying retired armed forces members in their support. The SJB had a special meeting on this matter recently. A former top military official warned of brewing trouble after the JVP hierarchy got hold of a report that says Sajith will win. It is said that big trouble awaits once he wins. Tell him about this now and we will prepare an action plan for such a situation, he said. The SJB's Retired Armed Forces Personnel Conference took place yesterday at Sugathadasa Stadium. Mahesh Senanayake organised the event attended by around 5,000 ex-servicemen. Sajith says he will entrust law enforcement authorities with a special task within 48 hours of becoming the president, so it would be best for all if honest interventions are made for a peaceful election. Politicians would resort to anything for power. If civil unrest happens, all will have to pay for it alike and pay very badly. So people will have to act with total understanding and control. That's it for today.
The Leader. දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.